So today's subject is desserts.
Desserts.
And I chose to talk about why are people eating charcoal croissants?
Why are people eating charcoal croissants, Nat?
Bunch of nerds.
Bunch of fucking nerds.
Here's some. They literally look like shit.
They do literally look like shit.
Why are people eating charcoal croissants? Ice creams? Ice lollies? Okay, so hands up. Have either of you ever eaten anything that contains charcoal other than like burnt toast, but like deliberately prepared food with activated charcoal in it before?
No, I'm not a hipster.
No. Right. Thank God. Neither have I. It's an extremely Shoreditch trend.
Yes. I did look into at one point charcoal toothpaste because that looked interesting and looked like it might be a fun thing to use, but it was like twice as expensive. I was like, I ain't made it.
Right. We'll get into it. I suspect the charcoal toothpaste is more legit from the perspective of this journey I'm about to take you on. So the special ingredient of these items is activated charcoal / carbon. It's charcoal that's been created at super high temperatures and processed with other special salts and like purified to leave it as just the carbon that remains. And activated charcoal is incredibly absorbent. It's packed with so many micropores that 1 gram of activated charcoal has 3,000 meters squared of surface
meters
area.
Squared?
Yes. 3 kilometers squared, basically, of surface area
Christ.
in 1 gram of activated charcoal.
I never understand how meters squared works versus kilometers squared. Like, it's 3...
Right, am I wrong in saying kilometers squared?
I don't know. Is it like you take a meter
right?
squared and multiply it by 3,000, or you take 3,000 meters and multiply it by 3,000 meters? I think it's the first one, but I'm not sure.
So surely 3,000 meters squared is the same as 3 kilometers squared.
Square it.
I suspect it's not, but I honestly don't have a clue, and I'm always confused about it.
Oh, I'm sure it doesn't matter. I'm sure none of this conversation makes any
I think
sense.
it's like, if
It's
the difference
big
is
anyway.
either you take 3,000, like you take a square meter and you put it 3,000 times going in one direction, or you do that and then you also put that 3,000. So it's like a 3,000 times different.
Listen, I'm going to take your word for it.
Cut all this out and just...
Here's how much this doesn't matter. I thought when I was making this presentation, I was like, I can't just put this in here without any context, right? I'm like, this is a big number, but I need some comparative. I was like, what's the like surface area of flour? And I went and looked that up, and it's about like, I actually spent a decent amount of time trying to find out what the surface area of a gram of flour was, and it's like 600 meters squared. And then I was like, it doesn't matter. I don't care.
Doesn't matter.
So
None of it matters. We're going to die in the end.
We're all going to die. It's a big number. It looks big. So, this incredibly absorbent material and this huge surface area means that it's packed full of sites for binding with other molecules, which makes it... There's a nice little diagram. Which makes it fantastic for certain uses, such as water filtration, gas masks, and treating poisoning, including drug overdoses. So basically, it's such an absorbent material that all the shit you want to remove from something gets stuck to it, and you can use it as a really effective kind of
like a sponge,
filtering system.
Like a sponge.
Right. So with poisoning, basically people, someone might go to A&E having suffered poisoning where they've ingested poisons, and they can then consume some activated charcoal, and the activated charcoal doesn't get absorbed by the body, but it does absorb all the nasty poisons in their stomach and can help them, will get sort of pooped out, and will help them kind of quickly excrete the poison rather than digest it. Which is a lot to go through just to get black poop. There must be an easier way. So how did we get from gas masks to milkshakes? People really, really, really wanted to get that black poop.
Yeah.
So there's some more from the steps from these kind of there's a very clear use case to this activated charcoal to something that seems essentially useless, charcoal in your croissant or your milkshake or your ice cream. Why did people want to do it? So basically, I think there was some kind of in-between steps where activated charcoal was being put in like cleansing products like toothpaste and things like that, where there's a more kind of plausible use for it, where it's absorbing dirt and pollutants and things. And then there was this association with health benefits due to its use as a treatment for poisoning. And it was attributed with like detoxing abilities. And it's super Instagrammable because it looks really weird.
It does look really weird. It does look really weird.
I actually think that milkshake looks pretty appealing.
Yeah.
Does it look appealing?
I think grey ice cream and stuff looks pretty cool. However, you can achieve the exact same effect with black food colouring. And a lot of these images, like, they've used a combination of charcoal and black food colouring to make it more black because it's not like
I tried black
enough.
food colouring to try and make something look black, and it just makes it look grey.
So I took a little peek at Google Trends, and here we have interest over time, and with a noted peak in interest in activated charcoal in 2016, in August of 2016. You can see before a certain period, before about like 2013, there was a basically very little interest in activated charcoal, and then it kind of swept up as it became an Instagrammable ingredient in cafes. So yeah, people were kind of advertising it and branding activated charcoal in your food as having health benefits, as like you could eat this dessert and it would come along with the added benefit of detoxing your body. And so let's consider why customers want black poop so bad. This is Nathan Fielder, who has a show called Nathan For You, where he's a comedian, and he poses as a like business expert who's going to help people fix up their small businesses. And in this show, he was helping a frozen yogurt shop, and he decided to help them out by getting them to make a gimmick yogurt that tastes and smells and looks like shit.
Okay.
And that was their gimmick, that they would sell poop flavored yogurt.
Is that better or worse than the human breast milk gimmick?
It's worse.
Oh, I don't know. I can't choose between those, but I do think this one is more hilarious, and that's why I've included it, because it's really funny, and I recommend anyone like go look this up on YouTube because it's fucking hilarious. It's really a detour from my presentation. I just wanted to talk about it because it's such a funny show. Anyway, so why would customers want to eat the activated charcoal foods that these cafes are trying to sell them? It's super Instagrammable. There's the novelty of it. Mm-hmm. It's safe risk taking because
safe risk taking.
Right, you're like, here's this. In the case of the croissants, they look kind of ugly. So you're like, I'm going to try this thing that looks like it's going to hurt me, but it won't really hurt me because, you know, they're selling it in a cafe, it's fine. I'll get a picture out of it. And so, this croissant literally looks like shit, but it tastes just like a croissant.
Okay. Is that what it is?
And, you know, they're anticipating potential detoxing health rewards as well. So I think regardless of how many people actually believed that there would be this kind of health benefit to having this activated charcoal ingredient in the food, the fact that it was like a touted benefit kind of just gave people an excuse to do something, like try something different and silly, when what they were really paying for is literally just black food coloring. They just want food that's black. But does it actually work like that? Does it actually provide these detoxing health benefits?
I'm going to take a punt and say no.
You think you guessed correctly. No, I didn't. So the absorbent effect of the charcoal is localized to whatever it's in direct contact with, which means that it's only going to have any effect on what's already in your, literally just your stomach that day. It's obviously not going to have any effect on the rest of the body. But regarding the effect that it has on what's in your stomach, activated charcoal doesn't know the difference between good particles and bad particles. It only has the ability to absorb some selection of whatever nutrients or even medications that you've ingested that day. So whilst it doesn't seem to be like necessarily dangerous, it could like have unwanted effects if you're on medications. Yeah, so the health use for activated charcoal is extremely specific. Literally only if you've ingested poison that day, or if you need to wear a gas mask, which you might do.
In the age of COVID-19.
There are though no health benefits to having activated charcoal in your food. But beyond that, I think there's something even broader that it says about the way we think about food. The majority that I'm seeing of these kind of Instagrammable foods that people have been putting activated charcoal in are considered indulgent treats, more for enjoyment than for sustenance. And I think the use of activated charcoal in these products highlights the marketing of a harmful narrative that we sometimes tell ourselves about food, that all food contains bad, and the more food you eat, the more bad you consume. And I think this damaging idea is so pervasive that we can then be sold food that has ingredients that are branded as antidotes to the poison of the food itself.
It's fucking capitalism's fault, isn't it?
Right, isn't it?
Sometimes I eat way too much of something delicious, and then I think, oh no, I'm full now, I have to fix that, I have to fix the problem that I've caused myself, and then I think maybe I should eat soup.
Right. You're like, I've eaten cake, so I need to eat lettuce to have less effect of the cake, but you've still already eaten cake.
Exactly. Like, some foods are poisons, some foods are medicines.
Right. That's a great sort of point to move on to the lovely and delightful James Wong, who I'm going to leave us with a quote from. James Wong says, first I'm going to say who James Wong is, because not everyone knows who James Wong is. Okay.
He's a man who really likes fruit.
He loves fruit. Look how much fun he's having with this blackberry right now.
That's such a weird way to pick fruit. Like a small plate with multiple different types of fruit on it. That's not how you should forage.
James Wong is an ethnobotanist, kind of a celebrity ethnobotanist who's all about how people use and benefit from plants. He has a Twitter, I recommend it. It's very lovely. He's constantly debunking junk food science. And James Wong says, there are no bad foods, only bad diets. And I think that kind of blows the whole mindset that produces the desire to have like detoxing anti-poison ingredients in our sweet treat foods away. We need fats and carbs and sugars to live. They keep us happy and healthy. Too much or too little of anything can have consequences for your body, but food itself is not poison, and treating it as if it is actively harmful.
Thank you, James Wong.
So you can have chips, just don't have chips every day, all day.
Exactly.
Is that where I'm going wrong?
Exactly, and don't treat the chips like they're a poison that needs to be fixed with some magical ingredient.
The idea of taking a food and then just ruining it so it looks fancier. I mean, regardless of health benefits, just taking a food and ruining it so it looks fancier reminds me of a video I saw where somebody took a tomato soup and turned it into a consomme. You know what consomme is?
I fucking hate consomme. What the fuck's the point of consomme?
What is it?
So it's like you take some broth or usually a stock, you put egg whites in it, and then the egg whites float to the top, and they basically filter out all of the a lot of the particles that you can see, so that you end up with a transparent soup, basically. So tomato consomme is just like a tomato, nice tomato soup. It's got full body, interesting, lovely thing, and then you turn it into a consomme. You've just got tomato flavored water. Why?
Sounds very like Heston Blumenthal kind of cooking.
No, it's quite an old style French style. It's like it's a
really
posh fancy starter basically. And it's
no
bullshit.
colour in my food.
Yeah, well, the really frustrating thing is that you'll have a consomme and you'll put like some slices of fucking like really thin slices of jardiniere fucking not lettuce, but like celery or something, and you put that at the bottom, so you have this clear soup with like 2 or 3 sticks of some sort of green thing. Oh, I fucking hate consomme. I had to do a fucking entire module on consomme.
Oh,
That's so funny.
What should James Wong do?
What should James Wong do?
Yeah, what should lovely James Wong, who's staring at us right now, what should he do?
James Wong, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes.
Next slide, please.
Subscribe to us. And like this video, because you're in it, James Wong. And also comment,
me,
James Wong.
Please.
At Botany Geek, James Wong, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave a comment.
Yes.
We'll really appreciate it.
Yes.